Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another webinar from A Place in the Sun Live as part of our month-long digital event. My name is Andy Bridge, and today we are property hunting on the Costa del Sol in Spain with local estate agent Mark Rawlings of Your Dream Home. Good afternoon, Mark. How are you?
Good afternoon, Andy. Yeah, well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm very well. I'm slightly demob happy because this is the final webinar of this month's digital event. This is the 52nd webinar we've done in 30 days, and I fronted a good few of them, but a colleague of mine in particular, Katrina, has been on in the background of all 52. So a big thank you to Katrina, who I know is listening in, and thank you to all our panelists and everybody who's taken part, and also to all people who have attended. And we have a great attendance for today's webinar, Property Hunting in the Costa del Sol. Before we jump into that, I do just want to show everybody where we have all the recordings of these webinars. So you signed up on this page to this webinar, Property Hunting on the Costa del Sol. And below on this page, we have all the webinars that have taken place this month. And if you're signing up to this one, then a particular interest may well be our Buying in Spain Property Masterclass. Separate webinars here on how to get a mortgage, the buying process, what to expect from your estate agent, currency transfer when buying in Spain, how to manage your holiday home, healthcare options in Spain, moving to Spain permanently, and then a general chat with all of our Spanish exhibitors. So that took place 3 weekends ago, and all those webinars are free for you to be able to go on and check out. Don't let that put you off asking questions today. Obviously, the detail on the buying process and mortgages and all of that is covered in those webinars, but feel free to put your questions to Mark today. There is a Q&A icon on your screen somewhere. Just click that and put in your question. So, Mark, Costa del Sol, that's where you live. I know you have offices and a business in the Costa Blanca and the Costa del Sol. Why do you choose to live on the Costa del Sol? Tell us a little bit about the benefits of being down there in your view.
I've lived on the Costa del Sol now for 15 years, or had a house there for 15 years. And I first started traveling there some 27 years ago. I think the area is fantastic. I mean, you've got household names like Fuengirola, Torremolinos, and Benalmadena. Fantastic infrastructure down there, fantastic public transport. We have a train line that takes you from the airport along the coast to the furthest point being Fuengirola. And as I say, well, you can jump on a bus there to some of the properties we're going to show you today. Obviously, the climate is fantastic. Again, a great all year round climate. You know, even the winter temperatures, you know, a low winter temperature for us is around about 14 degrees. The average winter temperatures is 20, 22 degrees. So just a great place, I think, to explore the south coast of Spain. You know, skiing. You know, if you want a holiday home where you can go skiing within less than 2 hours, we've got the Sierra Nevadas, literally 2 hours away, or various marinas on the coast for water sports and different things. Property prices again are still affordable. It's the most expensive coast, but it's still, you can still buy properties for under 100,000 euros and upwards to 100 million. You know, there's such a different variety of properties to offer.
And why is it then, do you think, that you know, it is seemed to be more expensive than the Costa Blanca? What do you put that down to? Is it there's just more going on, more infrastructure, all of that you just explained there?
The infrastructure in general, as I say, the public transport and things is better than the Costa Blanca, although the Costa Blanca is getting better. It is a little bit, it's a more concentrated area, I think. You've got and it's a more established area. A lot of the Costa Blanca was developed over the last few years, whereas the Costa del Sol has been, you know, for the last 50 odd years, has been a proven holiday destination by not just by the English, but by the Scandinavians and different nationalities. So which has pushed the prices of property up. And again, with some household names, Marbella, Puerto Banús, you know, prices are higher, a lot more higher. You know, a 2-bedroom property that may cost you 80,000 in the Costa Blanca could cost you 160, 180,000 in the Costa del Sol, or a similar, maybe bigger on the Costa del Sol, but a similar type of property. And that is down to, great access. Malaga Airport is, no more than 40 minutes away from most destinations. International flights in. It's an international airport with flights from America, from all over the world. So I could say great infrastructure makes it a desirable place to come, I think.
So as this is the 52nd and final webinar of the month, have we saved the best till last? Are you the Spanish estate agent equivalent of the headline act? Are you Beyonce, Radiohead, Dolly Parton all rolled into one? Is this going to be the best webinar we've had?
This is the best. We as a company, I started the company 13 years ago, and my philosophy when I started the company was to guide people through the process. So we make friends along the way. We're probably one of the very few real estate companies that actually manage and rent properties. So selfishly, it's in our interest if a client is looking for a property to rent that we sell them something that is rentable, because we continue that relationship going forward. And I think that all of our clients at the end of the day cannot believe how easy the process has been. And I think that's the whole thing is about. It's not about finding somebody a property to buy. It's about guiding them through different areas. It's about explaining all the different options, explaining to find different things, healthcare, schooling, if they need to work, and people's journey starts with one idea and it ends up in a totally different situation. I've got a client at the minute that started wanting to be 40 minutes inland, and now they've changed their mind. They want to be 10 minutes inland. I think the reality when you see things on the internet and on TV shows and things, people change their mind most of the time. So it's our job to guide them through it. And we need time to do our job. We work with our clients usually over at least a 2-3 day period so that we can spend time, because as I say, their needs and their goals change throughout the process.
And this is actually somebody who you've met during the course of this digital event who's flown out recently, isn't it?
Yeah, this is how the market has changed. So we had a Zoom call on Saturday afternoon with a couple from Scotland who was originally buying in France and then changed their mind at the final hour and decided no, actually the Costa Blanca was for them. They booked a flight. They've sold their house in Scotland. They booked a flight Saturday afternoon to arrive Sunday morning. We collected them Sunday morning and started the journey Monday morning showing properties. And we've now changed from them wanting to buy a guest house to supplement their income to they're buying a rental investment and a nice 5-bedroom villa for them to live in. Great budget for their budget is more achievable for what they're looking at. But as I say, their plans totally changed. And when we started to look at country properties in the middle of nowhere, they was like, okay, no, we feel we need to have infrastructure around us. It's when the family come over to be able to go to water parks and shopping malls and to the beach. We want to be closer to things.
So people are still coming out to see you, and then where they're not doing that, they're looking at stuff virtually. People are actually reserving properties on this recent new addition of a name to the sector, the COVID contract. Just explain that a little bit for us, Mark.
So we've negotiated with a lot of our developers and also some of the financial institutes we deal with something called a COVID contract, which basically means we started this prior to when it was actually in the lockdown, so that people could reserve property and with a small deposit, €3,000 deposit, and hold that property until the travel restrictions was lifted. We've now extended that contract until the quarantine is lifted. So last night we reserved 2 properties in the same development for the mother and daughter, and they paid a deposit, but it's now subject to them viewing the property within 14 days once the quarantine has been lifted. So we don't know when that period is going to be, but if it's in a month's time, then they will have 14 days to come and visit the property. If they don't like the property, they'll get their money back, and we would work with them and show them other properties to help them on their search. I think in the last month especially, we've had more people who have gone, okay, the situation isn't changing. We'd already got our plans in place to to buy a property before the end of the year because of the residency or because of healthcare issues and different things. So now people are either traveling, the wife is coming or the husband is coming, or they're both coming and going into the quarantine when they get back. So people are definitely traveling, and as I say, in the last month, certainly in the last 4 weeks, it has increased to what it was.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the properties. Well, initially the locations that we're going to look at today. We've got 3 properties at different budgets. Let me just share this screen with you all and start off with good old Google Maps. So we're on the Costa del Sol, and we're kicking off in Estepona, Mark.
Estepona is about 40 minutes away from the airport. Estepona is about 40 minutes away from the airport. So it's got great accessibility. You've got 2 options. You can either come along the coast road, or you can come along the new toll road, which is, the toll road is only about €6.
Yeah.
Estepona itself is a nice Spanish fishing village, lots of facilities around it, and all year round working town, but also a popular destination in the summer months. Very nice marina there. So sort of like located in between Marbella and Gibraltar. The next places along here, places like Duquesa and Manilva. This area was developed over the past 18 years, really. So 18 years ago, there was very little second home properties available. It was very much the Spanish fishing villages. Then there was newly built golf courses, Estepona Golf, and different golf resorts, Valle Romano, etc. And the development we're going to look at today is a development that was constructed 12, 13 years ago. So just at the start of it was finished at the start of the financial crisis. And then it's almost been kept in a time zone until then. It was bought by an investment fund, and it was recently been launched to the market just before the COVID situation. And it's selling very well. We've sold there probably now about 70 properties. So there's about 30 properties left to sell, but fantastic value. As it's owned by an investment fund, the prices are maybe 20, 25% less than what the market value is. Totally brand new, equivalent to buying something that is brand new today.
Okay, how many, just give us the spec of this one then that we're going to see. What's the price and how many bedrooms?
This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. The video I did was off the show flat, so you could see one with furniture in it. This is a ground floor, and the ground floors are starting at just 129,000 euros.
Okay, let's take a look at this one then.
Welcome to this. Is Doña Lucia, located in Estepona, just outside Estepona. These fantastic apartments, 2 bedrooms, and also 3-bedroom apartments here. This is the show apartment, so we can see it with some furniture in. Great finishes, cream marble, really nice size lounge and dining area. Leading out to the terrace. Back to the terrace in a moment. This gallery style kitchen. A laundry area, space for the washing machine, a boiler, etc. Bedroom property. And 2 bathrooms. This is the guest bathroom. And the guest bedroom. A nice big double bedroom. With built-in wardrobes. Again, you can see the qualities. The wardrobes have the chest of drawers built into them. air conditioning installed, and then through to the master bedroom. The master bedroom is really lovely. Again, lots of wardrobe space. Jacuzzi bath. Again, through to the master bedroom with a terrace off the master bedroom. And let's take a look at the terrace outside. Great situation. This is, as I say, just located just outside Estepona. Fantastic size terrace. This terrace is around about 30 square meters. Fantastic views down to the golf course and the lake. This is a ground floor property, so we don't get to see the sea from here, but we get to see there's a swimming pool there. And as I say, fantastic views of the golf course. This is just one of the pool areas here located in the development. Beautiful pools. Again, with fantastic views towards the Gulf. Hi, welcome to this. Is Doña.
That's quite a lot of property there, Mark, for that sort of budget.
I mean, I think if people have been looking in general on the Costa del Sol, they will see what 129,000 buys them. So if you start to look on Mijas Costa, where we sell lots of properties, you're looking at a property on Mijas Costa, starting realistically for a 2-bedroom property in a similar location, you know, you're needing 140, 150,000 euros for that. And it's predominantly, it's a 20-year-old property. So, you know, the qualities are of 20 years ago, nothing wrong with the properties, but it's not up to the same modern standards as these properties. So that's hence why they're selling really well. And I think, as I said, we sold 2 of these last night on a COVID contract, which is 100% no risk, because if you decide to come in 2 weeks after quarantine and you don't like the property, then you get your deposit back. And we would, when people are coming in these COVID contracts, we had somebody last week who had reserved something on a COVID contract in Murcia, decided it wasn't for him, upped his budget, and then we found him another property. So it's not that we won't actually show you other properties to reiterate that what they're buying is, or what you've decided on is not what you want.
A question in from Dave Tracy was asking what sort of communal fees would be involved with an apartment like that you've just shown us.
The community fees are around €100 a month, which includes all the communal areas, obviously the cleaning and the maintenance of the swimming pools, the maintenance of the stairwells. I mean, the building is, the investment fund that own it have just repainted the whole building. It is like a brand new development. There's, you know, it's replanted all the gardens. It's immaculate.
Okay, and that covers a question, I think, from Lynn Edney asking about cleaning fees and maintenance. What about how well do you think an apartment like that would let, Mark, if somebody was buying it with a view to letting it out for some time during the year?
We manage properties in the area, so I mean, June, July, and August it would rent very well, you know, ranging up to 700, 750 euros a week. And for the peak seasons, off peak, you're looking around about 350 euros a week. And again, it depends on how aggressively you want to market the property. If you pick out all the best weeks for yourself, i.e. July and August, then obviously you're going to get less of a return. But, you know, we've got properties in the area that get anywhere between 18 to 25 weeks of the year.
And Derek Creeman is asking, how far is that from the centre of Estepona? Just give us an idea exactly where it's located.
So it's located towards Valle Romano Golf, so it's about 5 minutes in the car down to the port. Okay.
And just on the plenty of interest, and how far from the beach, asks Bill O'Brien.
So again, 5-minute drive and you're down onto the beach.
Okay. And plenty of interest in the idea of the COVID contract. What sort of amount deposit are people putting down? And Julie Brown asks, do you need an NIE number or a Spanish bank account or anything like that to do so?
No, so to reserve the property, you fill out what's called a KYC form, which is basically your personal information and who's buying the property.
Know your customer, yeah.
And you basically pay then an official contract is issued, which basically states that the deposit is refundable and that you can get your money back if you don't like the property. And that's when you have to transfer when you sign that contract, that's when you have to transfer €3,000 to the investment fund.
Okay. And yeah, plenty of questions on this property. Would you need to pay extra for a parking space, or would be any additional storage? Is there a parking space, or is that not available?
Parking in space included, and most of the properties have what's called a trastero, which is like a storage room, normally around about 8 to 10 square meters.
You could get a bicycle in there, somebody's asking. Yeah. Okay. And how far is the nearest hospital? Would you know that?
The nearest hospital is about, again, five minutes in the car. Estepona has its own hospital.
Is everything just 5 minutes in a car from this place?
It's literally, if anybody knows Estepona, it's just off the main road. So it is literally, as I say, 5 minutes inland. So it's in a fantastic location. It's a hidden gem that's been just left there. So it's, I mean, they're building new properties around in the area because it's just a great location.
Okay. And is there anywhere to walk out to immediately, sort of bars and restaurants, or do you need to sort of head down into town?
So there is a couple of bars that you could walk to, and there's a small supermarket that you can walk to. You've got Valle Romano Golf Course. Golf courses in Spain are open to the public. You don't have to be members. It's got a beautiful clubhouse there, a nice restaurant. So yeah, you could walk. But again, I mean, to take a taxi, taxis are a bit like, even our normal taxi services in Spain are like Uber, where you can just literally phone them and they will come and pick you up from your doorstep. You know, they charge you €1.50 for the service, but it's so again, a taxi into the centre of Estepona, I think you're looking at about €7-8.
And Estepona itself is pretty well connected for public transport. What about links to the airport?
So again, I mean, there's a bus service that comes along the N340. So you could get a bus back to the airport if you wished. There's lots of shuttle services, Malaga minibus and people like that, who again offer door-to-door services. So if you didn't want to have a car, you could get away with not having a car. And
just a bunch of questions coming in about the redevelopment of this this community, this urbanization. Is it all fully completed now? Is there still building going on? Is it all just done?
Fully completed. Fully completed.
Okay. Okay. And as an owner, would you be able to get a discount on golf fees or membership? How does that work?
Not on this, but because it's not connected to the golf course itself, so you wouldn't.
Okay.
Most golf courses offer discounts on green fees, and there's companies that specialise in getting you discounts on green fees.
Yeah. And the COVID contracts you refer to, principally they operate with new build properties, I'm guessing, not so much with a a resale from a private vendor. That's going to be tricky, isn't it?
Resales from private vendors, I mean, we have sold things and it's been subject to somebody coming out and viewing, but those people have been coming and viewing straight away, not waiting for the quarantine to be lifted. I mean, the market is moving. I mean, we're not the only ones who are selling these properties, and the market is moving, and people are buying because they know in a normal circumstances these properties wouldn't have been available now. They would have been sold up until this time of the year from when they was launched. So it's they was priced to sell very quickly.
A couple of questions in about the prices of the 3-bed then, because today we saw a 2-bed, 2-bath. You said there were some 3-beds available?
They're ranging, I mean, to give you an idea, I think the highest 3-bed penthouse is around about €235,000. So for a duplex 2-story penthouse. So they're ranging, as I say, from 129,000, 135, 155, going upwards. So if somebody wants to email me directly at mark@yourdreamhome.es, I can send them an up-to-date price list. We get a new prices every morning, and I can send that through to you.
Okay, and there are penthouses left. Got somebody interested in a penthouse here? Yeah.
Left.
Yeah.
The penthouses are fantastic 360-degree views. So you've got golf views, sea views, mountain views.
And is it classed then as a new build in terms of the taxes due on it?
No. So the great thing is you're not paying VAT, you're paying 8% purchase tax.
Okay, and then when you roll that up into legal fees and everything else, what do you think somebody's paying on top of the value of the property, roughly?
They need to allow 10 to 11% for their purchase costs in total if they're buying it cash.
Okay, yeah. Good. Okay, plenty of interest in that property, Mark. Just tell us a little bit about the second property that you're going to share with us today.
You putting it on the screen?
Yeah. So we're going up to, we are now going up to, where are we going? We're going up to Benalmadena.
So Benalmadena is one of the closest towns to the airport. So coming from the airport, household names, you have obviously Malaga being the airport. Torremolinos is a very popular destination. Then Benalmadena. So you've got Benalmadena Costa, then going on to Benalmadena Pueblo. This particular property is an incredible property. It's located about 5 minutes walk down to the beaches of Benalmadena, and it's situated just between a place called Arroyo de Miel and Paloma Park. Paloma Park, anybody who knows, Benalmadena is a beautiful park in the centre with its own lake and animals and different things, cafe, bars and areas. It's a really nice green area in the centre of Benalmadena. As I say, this is 5 minutes walk down. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ground floor apartment. We actually currently manage this property for the client and rent it for the client doing holiday lets. And the reason they're selling it is they've got a new venture in the UK, what they're looking at putting the funds into. So, but it's a very, very good rental property. We get around about 28, 30 weeks of the year rentals for this because of its location. And then we'll get some long-term rents in the winter. It's, as I say, it's literally 5-minute walk down to the beach, as everything's 5 minutes, Andy.
And this one is how many bedroom, how many bathroom, and how much?
So this is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It's got a huge outdoor terrace, and it's on the market for 299,000.
Okay, let's take a look.
Okay, today we're in Benalmadena Costa in a property in an organisation called Pueblo Bonita. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, ground floor apartment with fantastic space and a fantastic terrace, which we'll go out to in a moment. You can see here that there's a kitchen and living area, dining area, good size, really nice and bright, lots of windows, cream marble flooring. This property is being sold fully furnished. So you can see it's got some really nice features. Come into one of the bedrooms. All the bedrooms have air conditioning fitted. Built-in wardrobes. And again, windows out to the terrace. This is one of the bathrooms. A walk-in shower, bath, vanity unit. Again, one of the guest bedrooms. And then what I would class as the master bedroom, which leads out onto the terrace. Right now, I'll take you out to the terrace. It's got a fantastic terraced area. So we are literally 5-minute walk down to the coast. So it's really that close. This terrace is beautiful. It's now 11:30. It's got a little bar area built there, ideal for barbecues. Fantastic views down towards the sea. And there is the pool area just down there. I'll take you down to the pool so you can see the pool area. Really well kept community. Beautiful pool area. It's like talking distance down to the beach.
So how many weeks did you say you could see that one renting for, Mark, or have you been renting that property for?
We've got a proven track record on that property. So a property will rent anywhere between 20, 26, 28 weeks of the year.
Okay, just to cover off some more questions, some people, I guess, a little bit surprised ultimately that you have clients flying out at the moment. I mean, people are just taking the hit on the quarantine when they go back, I guess. Somebody asking, are people managing to get insurance to travel? I guess that's not directly something that you deal with, but presumably they have their insurance in place.
I know the clients. I mean, initially we had clients concerned about travel insurance. There are companies I know that clients have had travel insurance. I can ask those clients who they use, but I know people have got travel insurance. People are still traveling. I think people have come to terms with the fact that this quarantine is going to be in place maybe for, who knows, a couple more weeks, a month, who knows. It's certainly going to be there. People are still traveling, and people have you know, we've got the deadline for Brexit coming forward, so people very much want to get their purchase sorted this year. Looking at, you know, people, you know, I keep seeing things, people saying, well, things get better, you know, is it better to wait until 2021? No, I mean, the market isn't dropping, the market isn't changing, prices aren't falling, properties are still selling, and availability is going to be less. So people are, you know, people are still buying, still coming very much so. It's in place.
And somebody wanting clarification on, we mentioned the number of weeks that the property in Benalmadena would rent out for. What sort of rate would you get high season and low season?
If you check that property, I think it goes, I think the lowest on the low season is about 350 a week. I mean, I think it goes up to nearly €1,000 a week in the summer season. But I can check, if anyone wants to contact me, I can visit you on that property. I can speak to the guys, my rental manager, and they can send over literally the breakdown of how it's been.
So yeah, a few people asking how that is managed then. So you also have a marketing arm, as in a rental company, marketing and managing properties on behalf of your buyers?
As a company, we manage around about 250 properties. So, and that's predominantly property. We only really manage properties that we've sold. And it's in our interest to sell people property. If people want to rent a property, you know, it's in our interest to make sure we're selling them something that is rentable. Because obviously we charge and make money out of doing rentals, you know, it's a service we offer. So we've got a good array of properties that we can sit down and say, fine, you know, this area will generate you a better income than this area, and different rental yields. And some places may get less weeks, but get a higher percent or a higher rate because of its location.
Okay, so property number 3. Tell us where are we going? Where are we going next, Mark? Let me bring this map up, and you can talk us through where we're heading to. So
we are heading to a place called El Faro. El Faro is about, I don't know, 5-6 kilometers from Fuengirola. It's about a 5-minute drive, so it's on the west side of Fuengirola. So you could take the train into Fuengirola, and then at the side of Fuengirola train station is the bus station. You could either take a bus to Fuengirola, to El Faro, or take a taxi. Again, a taxi is probably 10 euros to the apartment we're talking about. This apartment I sold to an American couple originally from Holland 10 years ago, and they come once a year for a week as a stopgap between Holland and Washington. And we have been renting this property for the last 10 years, and some years get in 52 weeks occupancy because they are very much, you can rent it short term, you can rent it for a month. It's basically, you rent it however you choose to get the best returns on it. So it gets a fantastic return. And they've actually bought a bigger property about 5 minutes away. So they bought a beachfront apartment closer to Fuengirola. Hence why they put this property for sale on the market. This property is on the market for 399,000. They are negotiable on the price a little bit. And again, we've got fantastic track record. When these properties was built, this was built and finished just before the downturn in the market. This was on the market originally for 660,000 euros. So shows you the incredible value now that's still in the property market, 12, 13 years on to when this was built. Standards and qualities are high. It's got a domestic system to open the electric blinds. It's got an alarm system, smoke alarms, everything all built into this domotic system. Yeah, it's a great property.
Right, let's take a nosy round.
I'd like to show you this 2-bedroom apartment, which is front line to the beach in Costa, in a place called El Faro. Fantastic penthouse apartment. Fantastic property. We've been looking after this property for nearly 10 years, and we've been renting it for the current owner. He's just recently bought a newer property. 3 bedrooms because of his extended family. So he's now decided to sell this property. There's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, fantastic features. Siemens appliances in the kitchen, really high quality. It's being sold fully furnished. There's a nice little terrace here on the rear. So you've got morning sun, afternoon sun, fantastic location. And look at that pool area. I'll take you down to the pool areas in a moment. It's a fantastic urbanisation, 24-hour concierge service. Costa, El Faro in Costa is located about 4 kilometres away from Fuengirola, where you have the train station that comes directly from the airport, Malaga Airport. This is the 2nd bedroom. So ideally situated, great. The guy who owns it, he lives in America, and we rent. He comes once a year, we get around about 36 weeks a year rent or something. So it rents really well. I think if somebody's interested in taking over the bookings and things, we can transfer that to the new owner. This is the master bedroom, the master bathroom, jacuzzi bath, shower. Nice sized double bedroom. But then we come out to the terrace. The terrace leads off the bedroom and off the living area. But look at these views. These views are just spectacular. Nice sized terrace, open terrace. Fantastic sea views. So you've got Fuengirola 5 kilometres in one direction, and you've got La Cala de Mijas maybe around about 2 kilometres in the other direction. So again, fantastic location for everything.
I can just see myself on that terrace with with a cold beer and some olives, Mark. That's a lovely location.
That's great. Perfect. The clients are always it.
And do you have just more generally in terms of your client base? Do you have a lot of people looking to relocate at the moment, or is it principally holiday home buyers, or a mix?
We've got a really good mixture, and I think in different areas we're getting even more of a mixture. But certainly we're getting a lot of people who are relocating for permanent living. You know, we've had that in the lockdown. People have brought their plans forward and have actually completed in purchases prior to you know, to the situation we're in now. So we're getting a lot of investment as well because of the change in the buy-to-let benefits in the UK. A lot of people are now selling up their buy-to-let properties in the UK and buying properties in Spain as a rental income. So, and then just people generally wanting a second home. I think the last few months has brought the quality of life to us all that we're now looking at. You know, life is for living. Let's get on with it, and people are certainly bringing forward their plans.
Yeah, and plenty of questions on that final one. I'm just going to share the screen again. Over on the website for Your Dream Home, somebody was asking about the living area and the terrace size. So all the properties are listed on the Your Dream Home website. That's 100 meters of living area and 30 meters of outside space. These were the property details for the apartment in Benalmadena, and the property details for the apartment in Estepona that we kicked off with. So all of these you can go directly to the website, or just drop Mark an email. Your email address again, please, Mark.
Is Mark at Your Dream Home. Yes.
And my colleague has also sent everybody who's attending this webinar a message in the chat box with a link through to where Mark is exhibiting with us on the event website. So this is where you signed up on the webinar page, and this is where you can meet our exhibitors. This is the Spain page, and here we have Your Dream Home, Costa del Sol, with details about the business and a property carousel. You can book a Zoom call with them. Just click on any of those time options. There's some more properties there and some more properties to click through here. But direct questions about these three properties, just drop Mark an email. It's probably the most straightforward way of going about it. A number of questions coming in about moving pensions around and Brexit deadline and residency. I pointed everybody at the top of this webinar to the page where we have all the webinars that took place earlier in the month. There's some more detail on those. And safe to say that there's a lot of interest from people who are looking to relocate at the moment, Mark, from just trying to get in before the residency status might become just a different process, I guess.
I mean, none of us, what we all know is that if you buy a property prior to the 31st of December, nothing changes. So that's why people have obviously wanted to complete this year. And that's obviously still the case. As I say, none of us know what's going to happen next year, but you know, the Spanish are not going to make things difficult for foreigners, and it's no different. We've got lots of Norwegian clients, Swiss clients. I think what we found is with clients, what we're doing an awful lot of, and again, anybody can contact us directly. If somebody sees a property or somebody sees an idea, an area that they're looking at, you know, me and the rest of my team are more than happy to just go out, do videos. They might not be the most professional videos. They might not have the best sound crews with us, but they're real life. So we're more than happy. We had somebody the other week, and we literally walked from the bars and the restaurants with them on the phone to the apartment so that he could see exactly where it was. He knew the urbanisation, but he didn't know where the particular property was. So all those things we can help, so that when you do come out here, your valuable time is spent doing the correct things and wisely, so we can eliminate a lot of the process. As I say, we're also getting people who are, if both people can't travel because of the quarantine, we're getting that one person is, or generally most people now are almost biting the bullet and saying, listen, we're going to have to travel, let's go and do it. It's perfectly, it's a safe place to travel to. It's not, you know, our cases down on the coast are virtually zero. You know, it's media is a wonderful thing that is portraying a different aspect, but apart from having to wear a mask, that's about it. But you can take that off, Andy, when you have a nice cold beer. So the best place is come and look at some properties and spend the rest of the time drinking beer in the bath.
Yeah, somebody else has asked about properties. Do you have properties down in further along the Costa, sort of Torrox and Belez Malaga and around?
We cover from virtually Nerja all the way down to Duquesa and Manilva, Sabanillas. And then from the other office, we cover from almost Benidorm down to, well, past Aguilas down towards Almeria. So virtually the whole of the southern coast.
Okay. Do you do much rural stuff? I don't think you do. Do you got somebody looking more for a cortijo type like a finca type property? Do you have those sorts of things on your books?
We do a lot around places like Alain El Grande, in Guaro, in places like Coing. We do a lot around there. And again, we've sold an awful lot of property recently to people who are relocating permanently, and because of the value for money, you know, 250,000 in places like Alain gets you a nice little finca in the Campo. So we're certainly selling properties out there. So it's not just coastal things that we do. We do go inland, 30, 40 minutes inland.
Okay, so let's see what sort of a job then you've done on these 3 properties. Let's run a quick poll and ask everybody out there who's given up their time this afternoon to come on this Costa del Sol property hunt. Which is your favorite property? So imagine you have the budget, imagine it's your own money coming out of your own pocket. Which of those 3 properties is proving to be the most popular one? Give people a couple more seconds to vote. And let's end that and take a quick look. Okay, so not unsurprisingly, 50%, 51% of the audience are keen on that first apartment you showed, and then it's sort of split a little bit between the other 2 more expensive options. But I guess that's no surprise there, Mark. That's a well-priced property for the Costa del Sol, isn't it?
Fantastic price development for the Costa del Sol. And on a previous webinar, we did a similar development we have in a place called Mias Golf, very similar qualities, similar, but starting at around about 151,000 euros. So again, if people could look back at previous webinars, they will see that. But yeah, fantastic price property. I wasn't allowed to vote. That's what I was going to vote for as my favourite one.
Great. All right. Well, Mark, thank you for your time today and for getting those 3 films to us. As you say, estate agents, like lots of business, are having to be innovative and do new stuff. So yeah, you're happy to walk around with your phone and show people the ins and outs and the nooks and crannies of any properties they're interested in. That must be hugely helpful for people who don't feel confident enough to have to travel at the moment.
Yeah, anybody who wants anything, you know, as I say, we're more than happy to go and do individual properties, individual areas. We've got lots of footage on individual areas anyway, so happy to do that and to go wherever. You know, it's we have to adapt to the new situation. I'm just reading a couple of questions. Some people have asked, why is areas such as Casares and which you have Estepona, and then you go further around to Duquesa and Manilva and Casares, why is it more affordable? It is a case of the land there was a lot cheaper when they was building. So now the things that they're building now, the prices are rising, and in the future the area will be as expensive as the rest of it. It's sort of like the new area, the up and coming area. So places like the Cala de Mi has, 7-8 years ago, prices have risen drastically in that area. And again, Estepona and going out towards Casada and places like that Casares is going to increase. And somebody else has said, is it best to fly into Gibraltar or Malaga? I don't really think it matters. The flights you can fly into Gib, but the difference with flying into Gib is there's less flights. So EasyJet do fly into Gib and British Airways, but as I say, Malaga Airport is only 40 minutes away from Estepona, 50 minutes. So.
Good, great stuff. Well, hopefully, Mark, we'll be seeing you in the spring next year at our Place in the Sun live exhibitions, whether we manage to get Manchester or London, but I know you're a regular exhibitor with us there, so it'd be good to get those going again. I know we're all keen to do that. So thanks again, Mark. Thank you for everybody who's been here today as part of this property tour of the Costa del Sol, and also for your interest across the month. We know we've thrown a lot of webinars out there, 52 in total, and covered a lot of topics, and we really do appreciate your interest in a range of overseas property related subjects. So good luck with your property hunting. Let's hope we see the back end of this crisis soon and we can all get back to something more like normal. And I wish you all the best. Bye-bye from me, and I guess it's bye-bye from Mark.
Goodbye. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.